Some of the alliances that we've thought about significantly is what I would call the actor networks that we're engaged with. And the actor networks, and I'll explain it in simplistic ways because they're much more complex than this. If I put it into four categories, one category would be Indigenous nations and Indigenous governments. Another category could be the public sector, local, state, federal governments. A third category could be the private sector and the business community. And the fourth, I would argue, is universities and research. So policy-driven research and research-driven policy shape disproportionately the lives of Indigenous people in Australia. And so as we try to understand those actor networks, that's where you see where the opportunities lie. And I don't think it's a matter of saying we need to do things that are completely exclusionary of the broader Australian community. It's looking for those opportunities where you can collaborate, because our futures actually lie together. But then at the same time as our futures lying together, recognising that there has been oppression, dispossession, land removed, and all the other sorts of things that come with colonialism. So understanding your histories, understanding the actor networks, and then looking for those moments and those opportunities. One of the very big struggles in our context is what I would call the archival politics, or the politics of the archive. And when I talk about the archive, I'm talking about those things that frame us. So it's almost like the authenticating expert. Who becomes the expert and who authenticates us? Is it Indigenous peoples authenticating ourselves? Yes, we do that. But disproportionately, colonial governments also authenticate us in various ways. So who are the experts? Well, the experts are the anthropologist, the archaeologist, the lawyer, the ecologist. These are the archival kind of knowledges that are framed, that talk about who we are, what we're capable of, how we were structured, what our belief systems are, and so on. And so often when we get into a legal situation in the Australian context, for example, more recently, we're involved in a native title claim. There's been an overlap put to our native title claim by another Indigenous group. In Australian law, you can't have overlapping claims, and so you have to work out a way of sorting that out. And so often an expert is brought in to deal with the part of the claim that's overlapped. Now, I can't be the expert. I'm Ngarrindjeri, somebody else puts an overlapping claim on Ngarrindjeri country, but I can't be the expert. We have to bring in somebody from outside the community to be the expert, and that's what I'm talking about by the archival politics. And the archival politics is not just in legal terms or in terms of academics, but it's in the everyday. It's in Facebook, it's in Snapchat, it's in print media, it's in visual media, it's in reports, it's in management plans, and so on. And so what we're constantly doing or having to do is kind of rewrite the archive or create your own. And so you go out and tell your own story, write your own management report, set your own goals and agendas, and that way you put an alternative voice to the archive that's been put there predominantly.